Hello everybody and welcome back to the one and only Amazon EU Masters. My name is Initialize. I am joined by a woman who is Trouble by name and Trouble by nature, otherwise known as Georgia, otherwise known as Trouble Inc. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. It's my first cast this year of EU Masters, and I could have never asked for it to be with anyone else other than you, Initialize.
Oh, you're too kind. Genuinely far too kind. But we are incredibly tight on time. So it means we've got to roll on to our next matchup coming up, namely VITB versus Crvena Zvezda. I did my best to get that one correct. So we'll grab up these logos. It's a big matchup here. Of course, the LFL looking to be incredibly dominant here in EU Masters versus one from the EBL.
Yeah, absolutely. And here you see the VITB lineup as well. 4 ex-LEC players and a very, very promising rookie in the name of Diplex in the mid lane as well. If this is not a star-studded lineup, then I don't know what is Initialize.
Just incredible stuff. There's so much history here, so much potential here, and that's not even including just the LEC. They've been fantastic over in, of course, the LFL as well, but that's not just them, of course. We've got Red Star to work with as well. And again, one of the long-standing members of the EBL back finally on top after a few years, back finally to the group stage after a few years. Double Aim and Goal, and Tasteless rather, still remaining, but of course, Wondro, Tsiperakos, and of course, Golden Toast still around. Coming in as well to make this lineup look very exciting as well.
And of course, you might be recognizing some names like Double Aim and Tasteless. Tasteless, of course, coming all the way back from the era of ClickTech of Dreams. One of the best teams the Balkans have ever had, having a run into EU Masters. And now, of course, coming back, they call him like the dad of the Balkans because he is that veteran that will carry his team forward, right? So I cannot wait to see this matchup, actually, because I think it's going to be extremely bot-centric, especially since we have on one side Tasteless making the plays for Red Star, and on the other side, of course, Jack Droll, who's used to be making these engages for his team as well.
Very much. So, of course, we are now into draft VITB over on the blue side, Red Star over on the red, and some very obvious bans to get the LeBlanc away. Playmaking mid lane, and we've seen all over the tournament thus far. TF on the other side makes a lot of sense considering how the LFL in general loves to play around that champion.
Yeah, and now I'm wondering here, because there's like champions such as the Ari that has seen a lot of priority, especially on the blue side. We have the Volibear that's been picking up. The Gnar has been picked up very early into the rotations as well. And if anything, having the carry top laners on both of these teams, we could potentially see shenanigans such as the Gnar being picked up very early.
I completely agree, and it's like top laners that you can kind of potentially leave alone a little bit, or at least can be self-sufficient, especially considering, as you said, VITB love to make those bot side plays, and you can sort of see some of the playmaking roaming mids out of the pocket by Red Star. They don't want the Akali there, they don't want the Aria, they want their off, and they're going to go towards a Volibear first pick for Skeen, something he has definitely loved to pick up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if the Volibear is open and then Ari and Zaya are the only other two champions that we have seen a lot of first picks on, then you just pick the bear and just play the early game, try to get these ganks, try to potentially get these tower dives as well. But on the other side, you know, Volibear, he's a champion that likes the early game, and J4 is also a champion that likes the early game. Double M has played the Javan before, and I'm wondering what they're going to choose to pair it up with here, because if they want to go towards something like an AD carry, they can choose the Jinx, they can choose the Aphelios. They're both in up and available. Oh, okay, so we're bringing in the NA
Got to
LCS
see
special.
what they fancy. The Misfortune has been right up and coming.
Okay, this is the LCS special. Misfortune has been played so much in NA right now. She has been called to be like the stats bot, if you will, really powerful. Her ultimates, especially when Javan locks people up, are so powerful. But the thing is, right now, you've locked in a combo where you know you're looking for a mobile target, and instantly Volibear can jump away. You locked in the Ezreal for Jester as well, extremely mobile. And then even if you get locked in, you've got the Karma for these powerful shields.
In a moment of typically my ping is dying right now, so I'm hoping I'm still mostly here even if I'm speaking a couple seconds into the pass. But you can see the response there of the Ezreal Karma to go in alongside that Nautilus there. So I'm hoping you can hear me still, Trouble. I'm going to hand it over to you for a second. Smile prettily at the camera while my ping sorts itself out.
I mean, I think even if you smile, your camera is just a little bit frozen, but that's okay. We're going to have to deal with it. So both teams have pretty much mirrored each other, right? They've picked their junglers to beat the bot laners. That means that top lane and mid lane pools are gonna heavily get pinched right here. And of course, we're taking away champions that are very prominent in the top lane, such as the Jace. Maybe Camille could be one that we're looking at as well. The Jax has been very prominent. We know that Sverna Zvesta really like to play towards the top side of the map, and having a very early moving jungler such as the Jarvan, it could be something that you want to look towards for one bro. You have the R5 pick, possibly get that counter pick towards Sigenda.
Indeed you do, and you can see the bans as you mentioned. One final one for Vitality B to select. See what they want to go towards. Might be another one of those top side focuses, and to get Sigenda, one of the better options you can get a hold of. Any ones you'd like to see out? I can see an Ornn considering the way, Ornn considering the way the tournament's going right now might make some sense. So it's not a Wanderer special.
No, not really. And again, I would like to see the top side of the map for Sverna Zvesta being a little bit more aggressive, if you will. You still have champions such as the Camille, the Fiora, the Jax, if you want. I'm expecting an R5 to be that. On the other side, you do have a Jarvan, so maybe something like an Orianna would pair up really well with that, especially when you've got the bullet time locking people down. On the other hand, you've got a Karma, who's kind of immobile, doesn't have a way to get out of the Cataclysm, so you could 100% to zero her really quickly. So something that facilitates the Jarvan. That works as well. The Zoe works as well. You've got Pema Prio in the mid lane, Pema push. That means that your Jarvan can get to roam together with you.
Of course, Skeens has been an old school Nidalee player, so could pick that one up if they really wanted to flex things around, but I suspect that's just the hover. Alas, for those slightly crazy jungle pickups, not going to come up today, I doubt it. Sylas would make a bit more sense, and they will lock it in. Some good ultimates to steal away.
So I'm wondering here. Okay, so Leona was one way to possibly force the Karma to go towards the bot side of the map, and then now that we've talked about, but now there's picks such as Camille that counters Na in the top side of the map that could be picked up here, and then you've got Zoe that's going to get Pema Prio into Sylas. You can move towards the top side of the map and try to play towards Wanderer, which is again what Red Star have been really liking to do, and they like to play towards the top side of the map. You get to shut down Sigenda as well. Okay.
You have spoken to me about this. We had this in prep. You said, like, look, I'd like to say, look, this guy is a bit of a mid player. You told me this guy plays Lucian. See Parakos with that Lucian pickup.
It's not. It's going to be Wanderer with the Lucian on the top of the map because the Zoe has been logged in.
Oh, true. I'm dumb. You're right. I just saw the Lucian and assumed.
I was expecting Tifarakos to maybe bring out his Lucian, but then of course the Zoe, this is going to be a Lucian towards the top side of the map. That is definitely a champion that you do want to play towards if you want to get them ahead. And also you've got short range AD carry in the likes of Lucian, so if you don't get him ahead, he's going to struggle playing into these melees later on. Like Sylas is going to chase him down together with the Volibear and the shield, so you need to make sure that this Lucian is actually farmed up and ahead to try and carry on these fights. I'm really liking so far what Sverna Zvesta have drafted for themselves. The Pema Prio in the mid lane with the Zoe, the Jarvan roaming around the map, the Lucian that will pressure the Na in the early game as well, and I want to see how Vitality B are going to reply.
I completely agree, and it's a fun draft as well, right? You've got some really cool champions, some really cool positions, and if they can get things rolling against Sverna Zvesta, then you've got the chance to make a real big impact. Because remember, they are 0-2 right now, but they desperately want to pick up some wins if they want to continue challenging. And Vitality B, they want to continue this run. Remember last year, guys, this was the team that failed in play-ins twice in both spring and summer. They're finally at the group stage. They've been playing incredibly well, and they want to keep the ball rolling.
Absolutely. Also, let's not forget the caliber of players that they have this time in their team. It's kind of like, I know we talk a lot about super teams and the value that names can bring to a team, right? But at this point, we have to reiterate, this is 4 ex-LEC players for Vitality B and one of the most promising rookies, in the mid lane, in the likes of Diplex. And they've all been doing fantastically well, especially in the LFL. LFL is like probably one of the toughest regions to play in right now. There's so many players right there from the LEC. There's so many new promising rookies. LFL is like one of the hardest regions to play in. And Vitality B have done great for themselves to come straight through play-ins. And let's not forget, play-ins to champions has been done in EU Masters so many times.
It has been done just once or twice. We've got a little bit of a potential invade coming through, but it will be spotted about that ward in the river. They now spot out Tasteless and Golden Toaster. Does Jeskla, who'll take and make it rain for his trouble, but back away now. And we're talking about some of the pedigree and histories. I mean, for the EBL, the Click Tech dream has kind of died a little while ago, but Savannah Zvezda want to take that over. They want to continue what they started way back in 2019. They've not really made it this far in the tournament since then, but this is their chance to shine, and if they can do it against a team like Vitality B, then what a story that would be for this group.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, right now, I want to talk a little bit about what Double Aim is going to do, because something that Malrank has been doing a lot in the LEC with Javan is he will start red side and then he will sprint it down bot for that level 2 gank. Now, obviously, Double Aim is not going to do that, or maybe he will. He can do the Raptors and then still move down towards the bot side of the map, but everything has been warded. It was so unfortunate that the lens was popped from Tasteless, but he hasn't spotted the ward. So even if Double Aim actually wants to pull a gank towards the bot side of the map, he will get spotted from one of the 2 wards, one in the Pixel Brush and the other one in his jungle. And that's exactly what he's doing. He is going for the level 2 bot, but that lens was so unfortunate to not pick up that ward. And Jessica and Jackdaw will be more than aware. They've got the level 2 as well. They're not really respecting that.
Could still go for this.
They're still
they
going
could still
for
go
it.
for him, and they've got away, but they're going to take a lot of damage. Jackdaw down to half HP. They burnt the heal. Going to try and turn this one around. Golden Taste takes a hell of a trade. Knock up on Yaska, but they're not going to be able to get the kill, and they just, even with the disrespect, just play their way through the gank.
Yeah, it's the level 2 versus level 1, of course. Hitting here, Golden Toast and Tasteless. When you're playing against the Karma Ezreal lane, the lane is always going to push against you. This is why I thought Double M was going to pull a level 2 gank, because usually this lane will want to crash that 3rd wave underneath your tower, so they will be exposed to a gank. It was a great idea, but the execution was not the best, because again, that lens did not pick up the ward and Double Aim was in vision. Jackdaw and Jishkla knew that they had the level advantage, so they could actually play the 2 versus 3. And now Skins will be more than happy to invade that, because look at that, Golden Toast is sitting on a very low HP. They cannot walk into the jungle. Flash and Ignite has been burnt out by Tasteless, which means that at any point, Jeskla and Jackdaw can enter the jungle and fight together with Skins. Double Aim is going to have to FF that one.
We said there would be bot side focus from Vitality B, and lo and behold, we've got some bot side focus from both sides, actually, and it leads to that blue buff steal after the unfortunate resolution of those plays in bot. You can see it in the CS discrepancy, you can see it in the camp stolen away. At least Double Aim will get over towards this top side and take away a scuttle crab, but the draft that was supposed to provide some pressure, to provide that agency for Double Aim right now, hasn't really borne through, at least towards the bot side, where the Ezreal Karma have done what Ezreal Karma do and get shove and outplay, honestly, that attempted gank.
Oh, they're setting up for a dive actually right here. Wombo needs to shove in the next wave, and he kind of needs to wait a little bit so he can actually build up the wave, because the counter wave is coming towards the top side of the map, so they can try and dive Sigenda. But Skins is in the area. He's pathing towards the top side of the map. His Gromp is just about to spawn as well, so he will be around to try and defend his top laner. Everything seems to be going south. Everything Double Aim is trying to achieve on the map has been spotted priorly by Vitality B, and that is really great stuff to put down all of that vision, spot Double Aim, knowing that the Javan is extremely active in the early game.
And that's something we've seen from quite literally minute 1, or at least 1 minute and a half. Phrase that a little bit awkwardly, but the point stands, where we saw those early wars that weren't spotted out, that led to the level 2 gank being so telegraphed, right? And they spotted that one out, they outplayed it, and this is the situation we stand where, yes, no kills have gone down, but it's already a 700-odd gold lead, purely from laning, purely from pressure and jungle invades.
Now, the thing is, if you look at the junglers, 33 CS for Skins and 27 for the Javan is going to go up, of course, 28, now that he got his last golem right there as well. But now VITB has this timing where there's no flashes bot, and he actually has time, because he doesn't need to farm to pull the gank.
The renewal is not broken, and that means a very dead Nautilus. First blood to Jeskla.
Again, Skins had all the time on the map. He did not have to be farming. He did not have to be anywhere else covering. He could very easily pull out this gank down the bot lane. And again, I think Jeskla and Jackdaw right here are playing the lane flawlessly. They're keeping the wave where they should be. They know exactly the limits. They knew that Tasteless would not have his flash up and available into level 3 Nautilus versus a level 4 bot and a level 4 VITB. Really well done from Vitality B. And obviously, I think their jungle is doing great at this point. They're spotting out Double Aim, they're pulling out the ganks, and Jackdaw is the first one to roam mid lane as well due to that play down bot.
Jackdaw might be in a spot about the Hex. He will be spotted by Tasteless, but that Mantra Q comes through. Hex Flash for the attempted route, and now he's going to have to Dredge line away. Spider-Man's always going to get rooted in place. A flash in front. He's still going to get Sleepy Bubble trouble, but it'll be Jack Troll that picks it up regardless with the Ignite, and it's a second kill over. And that gold lead is exploding very rapidly here in this game.
Jack Troll is playing the map so cleverly. He resets first, runs to mid. He knows that Tasteless will be trying to mirror. Look then at the bot side of the map. Because Tasteless is dead, Golden Toast is playing a Misfortune, extremely immobile AD carry. He's not allowed to step towards his tower. That is 2 tower platings gone to the Ezreal Karma lane, and they just keep on bullying their opponents. Double M is now down the bot lane. Let's see if he can get anything rolling, but there is a flash on the Karma. They're literally pulling the J4 away.
They just do so much damage, force him straight out. Double aim turns up and can't even clear the wards properly. And all the while, Golden Toast, the poor man, has just had to drop wave after wave. When we were prepping this, a little look behind the scenes, so to speak, we said that Red Star Savannah Zvezda needed to be able to stop the bot lane snowball from Vitality because you know they're going to try and do it. And right now, that snowball has turned into an avalanche. It's not even 8 minutes into the game.
Tiperako's putting a lot of pain down onto the Sylas, but this is also to be expected. On the other hand, Diplex is keeping up in the CS, right? Usually with the Sylas lane, especially when you're playing melee into range, you want to be trading your HP for these minion waves, and he has been doing great so far. He's been keeping himself healthy whilst keeping himself even on that CS department as well. So Diplex is doing great. Botlane is doing absolutely fantastic. Not only are they absorbing pressure, they keeping double aim down bot lane. And remember what we said at the start. Wondro is the carry for Savannah Zvezda. Red Star really like to play towards the top side of the map. Wondro is going to be their carry. All of the shenanigans down bot lane, Tasteless losing his flash, have forced double aim to try and play towards that bot side of the map. And Jack Troll, Jessica and Skins have been shutting it down every single time, which means Wondro has not been getting the attention that he's been needing.
No, and credit to Sagenda as well, keeping up in CS with Illusion, which is a notorious lane bully who does like to try and get ahead of that lane early on. That's not really happened thus far for a number of reasons.
Oh, that's a level
credit
6
as well
bear.
over to Vatiria, and that is a level 6 bear, and that means there's a level 6 ultimate available, of course, or rather a level 1 ultimate, but he gets it at level 6. That's perhaps a little bit disingenuous from me there. Either way, won't pull the dive quite yet, and they're still going to potentially be zoned off.
That is okay. That is okay. They can stick around. This is a cannon minion coming up. If you look, Diplex has pushed in the mid lane as well, and he's roaming towards the bottom of the map. So Tasteless and Golden Toast need to respect that and back off. If you look at the top side of the map, this is such a clever play because Double Aim has actually taken the Rift Herald. For that to be worth it, the investment, you need to get at least 4 plates with that Rift Herald, because the bot lane from Vitality B have taken 4 plates without needing that neutral objective so far.
And we are already at a 3,000 gold lead sub 10 minutes. I said about 2,000 at about 6, and you can see this growth is feeling increasingly exponential here in this game. Vitality B, this looking like a masterclass of snowballing. Look at the gold discrepancy in bot right now.
Yeah, it's 1.2k for the Ezreal, and remember, yes, this is a lethality Misfortune. She is going to hurt because she has the serrated Dirk, but also Ezreal. Oh, wait a second. Tiberakos has the flash. Ezreal is like one of these champions that will spike on that 2-item spike, so getting ahead that early, getting that Essence Reaver instantly is going to hurt. Every single Q, whoever it hits, is going to hurt, because even at this point, hold on.
Nice Nara into the wall there from Sagenda. Wonder taken very low. Doesn't have a culling here. It's going to take a lot of boulders. He's going to have to flash out. Flash for Sagenda. It's a solo kill on the top side. The win condition falls in the 1v1.
Oh, and I love that you said the win condition falls, because that was meant to be the guy played for. This is why you picked the Lucian. You wanted to get ahead. You wanted to be the carry of your game. And Sagenda pulls in the solo bolo. Very, very well done, obviously, right there. He sees that Wondro has really, really low mana. And I think also Wondro has to eat there. Yeah, he has to eat, and then he barely has any mana for any spell. He will use his Q, but Sagenda is sticking on him because he's Mega Nava. Wait, we have more.
We do indeed, and it's a knock up onto Double, and he's having to flash out. Here comes Skis, looking to turn it all around. Tasteless the one rooted, and Diplex on inches of HP. Flash onto Tiberakos, gets the kill. Looking to try and get out. He throws a thumbs up, and Red Star on the board. Just about. Wait, Diplex. Sorry, Tiberakos trying to get out, but he's about to be run down. Hops forward, and it will be given over to Jack Troll, not over to Skeens.
Okay, this was not a bad case scenario here for Savannah Zvezda, because Tiberakos gets a kill, and it is on the other hand Jack Troll taking that one. But right here, Savannah Zvezda need to walk out because there is a level 7 Volibear coming in, and Tasteless is only level 5 onto that Nautilus, and they do not have the best 3 versus 3 scenario right now, so they are going to have to forfeit, that first dragon. And we're going to see again what happened in the mid lane. Double aim season opening right here, of course, level 5 onto Jacktroll. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble also lands, but luckily for Jackal, he will flash behind the minions, not get hit by the Zoe Q. And I think Tiperakos plays this beautifully. Yes, Diplex flashes away from that, but then he picks up his own flash and then flashes through the wall whilst hitting him with the passive from picking up that extra summoner spell. And then Tiperakos has to try and evade
Tries it out, plays. It's a portal chump to at least not gift the kill over the Volibear, and I appreciate that. Jacktroll right now, the kill leader for Vitality B, 2-0-1 on the Karma. Carry him over the support, definitely coming through. Doing their absolute best to make this one work, and at least they have got a kill, but this mid lane 2v2, not turning into all that much right now.
I just want to say that Wondro right now has been stuck underneath his tower. 150 gold bounty just appeared above Sigenda's head, and for somebody who's supposed to be the carry for his team, he has been left alone to dry in the mid lane, and
because Skeens has been doing this! Just turns up and repeatedly ganks Predator Volibear, acting more like an F1 driver in this game.
I think this was a little bit of an ouchie as well, because Double Aim is like, you know what, I'll drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane. If you want to get enough to the tower, it's all up to you. I'm just gonna go over and grab the raids. Yes, you grab raids, but at what cost? You lost your mid laner who tried to get money from these tower platings as well. And I'm not even sure if actually Tiperakos are casting on any of that. So the Rift Herald just went down. It took 2 platings. And if you look at the rest of the map, there's 4 platings that have been taken down from the bot lane tower, 1 from the mid, and 3 from the top tower. So this Rift Herald, for the time investment, it has not given back Zverna's Vesta what Vitality B have taken from them.
Absolutely, in your early game, lane dominant AD carries that you've locked in. That Lucian, that Misfortune have been put well and truly behind right here. And Jeskla about to claim this first tower as well, with all the turret plates attached with it. The gold lead gets increasingly massive again. Just look at the top and realize it's gone from 2 to 3. Now more like 5,000 gold here at the 13-minute mark. And I don't see any sign of it slowing.
Yeah, and Double M is a little bit too deep into the jungle right here, but because the Reeses have come in from Vitality B's bot lane, they can actually head towards the top side of the map. I think we might have
big Nara into the wall, and that leads to a very dead Jarvan. Tasteless falls afterwards, and the old school double aim duo falls out there. My ping might be dying just a touch again.
Yeah, we might have to experience some troubling play-by-play. Because I have been losing you just a tiny bit here and there, and oh no, Golden Toes has been caught by Sigenda.
He's in so much trouble, takes a lot of damage and about to fall down, gets run down by the Gnar and falls down a killing spree for the Gnar.
I think everything is going south right now from Zverna's Vesta. There's 7,000 gold down. The Wincon, which was the top lane, getting ahead, getting that Lucian ahead, being able to fight into the Gnar, the Sylas, the Volibear is going to get much harder, because once the Gnar, the Sylas, and the Volibear get onto you, I don't think there will be much left of you to celebrate with, since they are actually fed. And honestly, I have to commend every single lane. I think Jacktroll and Jeskla have done fantastically well. Hold it.
Holding. Diplex looking to come through here to try and get this one out. Good Sleepy Trouble Bubble will prevent the easy engage, and they will ward off that attempted engage. Top side, though, more action occurs. Going to be a lockdown over onto that Ezreal. And actually, they do get the shutdown. Big news. Wonder at least gets one back. Now, Diplex looking to try and get a little bit more, potentially turning this one around as Skeens and Jackroll turn up this Lucian, trying to get as much down as they can, trying to dash, dip, duck, dive, and dodge once more to get some more, gets another kill, but he's caught in the back end of it. The Mantra Q secures a double kill for Diplex, and they make that one at least an even-ish trade to Vitality B.
Yeah, this is a 2 for 2 at the end of the day, but then Diplex comes out huge from this fight. He cashes in on both the kills, and Tiperakos might be dead here. They're not gonna They're not going to try this at all. But you see the power of not having anti-heal so far, because that Sylas healed through so much damage. So they see Jeskla all alone on the tops of the map, and they do have the Gale Force onto Warnbro as well. So they're going to try to kill the Ezreal right here. Tasteless pops everything onto him as well. But Diplex comes into the fight. The Ignite is long gone, which means that Diplex will be able to sustain through this entire fight. Keeps two people busy on the top side of the map while Jackal and Skins are chasing him. And here Skins gets a little bit caught out of position, gets a little bit too poked out from Tiperakos, and then Jackal has to flash away, of course, from the Cataclysm to get out. I believe that even if Skins was not even caught there from all these pokes, there was a high chance that this could be turned around and could be worse news for Sven Vesta, but they will take the 2 for 2. Yet another Dragon, though, will be going down to Vitality B. The map is completely unlocked for them.
Completely so. And Snowball continues. A few moments. Yes, you got a couple kills onto your Lucian, but it feels almost too little and a little too late, honestly. 7,000 gold behind. The 2 dragons come through. You know, some very scary members, and a comp that will host a Snowball earlier at this point in the game feels like it's kind of melted away before he could even start rolling.
So if you think about it, there is still a high chance for Svernas Vesta to make picks, right? The Karma, yes, she has a lot of shields, but it will be very easy. Like one pick from the Nautilus, one hook into one Sleepy Trouble Bubble, into all the poke that's going to come in from the Zoe, from the Misfortune that has now completed the Eclipse as well. It's going to be very easy to try and make a pick, and potentially once you've made that pick, you can start extending your vision into the map. Try to go for yet another one when you have the numbers advantage.
All right, I may have to leave but a moment, Trouble. Going to try and resolve that dreaded symbol of the internet, Berlin internet. I'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, Sigenda just stand Mega now, the Mega now on the wall, and he's going for the 1 versus 2 on the tower. Now Tasteless with the ultimate, and the bullet time is going to seal the deal for Sigenda, but we take those because while Sigenda is busy 1v4 and on the bot side of the map, the Rift Trial has been popped on the top side of the map, and this is going to be yet another tower for Vitality B. Diplex almost connecting these chains as well, and another huge value coming in from the neutral objective and the time investment on it from the side of Vitality B. Sigenda keeping 4 members busy on the bot side of the map meant tier 2 top lane and tier 2 mid lane falling for Svernas Vesta, while Golden Toast is going to stick around.
I believe.
I heard my name.
I believe I'm returned and have defeated the dreaded Berlin internet, much like they tried to defeat this time in the bot side to Svernas Vesta.
It wasn't happening. It was a really beautiful timing on the Mega. Literally last second, they could have so easily killed him if it was like half a second prior. But then, obviously, this is what we talked about. Once the Nautilus CC lands, the Misfortune does do a lot of damage. But even then, you see how hard it was to try and kill one Nah. Now, add in the equation other members, such as the Volibear, the Sylas, playing in your face, and it becomes really, really difficult. Also, you do not have any anti-heal to deal with the Sylas later on into the fights. Nobody in the team of Svernas Vesta has it, and anti-heal at this point becomes a really expensive resource, right? It's sort of like the QSS. When champions force you to have to go for the Morello, have to go for the Executioners, and you have fallen behind already in gold, spending that 800 gold is going to be a huge drop on the damage that you don't already have.
Massively true, and you can see it in the item discrepancies. Ezreal at those 2 items, Sylas at those 2 items, Nara at 2 items, 5 1-on-1, and up CS into the Lucian that was supposed to be the win condition, as we highlighted earlier. I'm not even sure what you get to do with Svernas Vesta at this point in the game.
Again, it's going to have to be a pick, right? If you find somebody on a side lane, maybe you trap the Sylas, maybe you trap the Nah as well. They both have a huge bounty onto the heads. You try to cash in onto one of your very important carries, the Zoe, the Misfortune, the Lucian, one of these 3 that have been actually starving the entire game, behind in CS, behind in kills, behind in resources. It's going to have to be reliant onto a pick, onto somebody.
Ooh.
Oh, double M might be getting caught here.
Might be in trouble here. Has to flash over the wall with the flag and drag, but Sigenda at the other side, actually very close to a Mega Knight. He doesn't have a flash, but can continue looking through. There's a teleport coming through as well from Diplex. That's just warding people out of the red side jungle. Vitality be in firm control of this spot. It is dark. very dark for Red Star right now.
And they're going to start the Baron. This is, I think, a really good call. Yes, you might go for the 50-50, but the second you see double lane coming forward, you said there's absolutely no vision for the Santos Vernas Vesta, and Deeplex is going to keep a Jarvan actually locked away for a while. Sigenda can jump out. He's mega now. You've got the Volibear. Deeplex has been caught, but he's going to pop the Hourglass. He has 5 members chasing him. And okay, we have initialized back, but that was a huge bullet time!
Vision being available, credit where credit is due. They hold on in a massively difficult situation.
And this is exactly what we were expecting, right? Vitality B felt very, very confident. They're 6,000 gold up. They've got all the resources. They've got all the items. They could fight the 5 versus 5. But then Diplex gets caught between 5 members. And we mentioned that if one piece of CC goes down, the bullet time into the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, into the Zoe Q, into all the smoke that they have from super far away from Svernas Vesta could mean someone's death. This time it was Diplex. And not only do they not get to take the Baron that they wanted, but they also lose the Dragon afterwards. So right here, Vitality B have to actually bail Baron to try and bail out their mid lane. And you see once one piece of CC lands, that misfortune bullet time hurts so much. There we go. Diplex tries to walk in, but all that damage is so hard to sustain through. Skin's almost dead, Jack's almost dead, Sigenta almost dead. They almost cashed in on 4 members from Vitality B. So you see there is still hope with the composition that they have. If Vitality B do walk into a choke point, it could be the end of a team fight.
You could see that damage is still there, and I was kind of asking, look, what do they do to try and come back into it? Well, maybe there's your answer. Doing pretty well there to at least make a competitive team fight of it. Now, you're going to think about that one. Golden Toast going to have to get over the wall and does so. It means the Tree Shot Barrage goes wide, but it's a flash down for that Misfortune, who's more vulnerable again as Tasteless. Now trading out. It's a big engage, but where is the rest of the follow-up? That Cataclysm is a long, long way away from the rest of the team. Trying to turn around to the Skeens, who takes next to no damage, and Double Aim about to get hit with a Stormbringer. Tasteless falls down to boot. They'll try and trade it back, but stopwatches after stopwatches means a double kill for Sigenda is all that Svernas Vesta managed to get out of that fight.
That was such a desperation call right there. Double Aim sees the target, but no one else is around to support him. And Vitality B have taken down the jungler, which means it's going to be a much easy Baron to take. Golden Toast, of course, has the flash. Skins is so freaking fast with Predator and shields from the Karma. Tasteless also needs to play back and forth. Double Aim sees the deal. He sees the carry. He sees Jackal and Jessica. Yes, he locks them in. But Misfortune cannot walk forward. There is Diplex flanking from the side. You cannot walk into that. And from there on out, it was absolute disaster. Wanderer goes in, he gets stopwatched. Svernas Vesta lose 3 members, including their Smite holder, which means that the Baron has been secured for Vitality B, and they can actually 1-3-1 on the map right now and push 3 lanes at the same time.
A close team fight gave them hope, and then Vitality B squash it the one afterwards. Managed to get themselves the Baron, they get themselves even more map pressure, and with a Dragon a little ways off spawning, they don't have to concern themselves with that and can instead use this Baron to its fullest extent and start to shove in and get even more gold before coming back to secure themselves what would be so pointless Double Aim. And Wanderer about to get run down by a very fast Volibear one more time. Wanderer manages to relentless pursuit his way out of danger though, and that'll be the end of that attempted little gank there from the very fast bear.
Yeah, Skins was all alone there. I don't know if that's the correct move to do. Yes, you're ahead, but then you have 3 lanes that you can push at the same time. Svernas Vesta are very reliant on making picks, so even if somebody can take all the pressure from being ganked by 4 members, then you can push to other lanes at the same time. You can get to inhibitor towers, you can get to inhibitors while somebody's soaking in the gank, right? This is what they need to do. They have the top lane wave pushing. They're going to bounce up as 4 on the bot side, while Sigeta is pushing in mid lane.
They do manage to get that one happening on the 1-4, as you said. Very much in action right now. Commencing the shove, waves crashing simultaneously here on both towers, being chunked out. Golden Toast doing their best to get rid of the mid wave, while the rest of Svernas Vesta try and clear out this one, but one turret has already fallen. This bot one sure to follow shortly after.
Oh, you definitely don't want to be getting anywhere near Sigenda right now because he's just turned Megana as well, which means that if Svennas Vesta want to try and team fight for the lives one last time, 10,000 gold down, this would be disastrous. Now, instantly Sigenda is going to leave because the mid lane wave has bunched up in the mid lane as well, which means that Vitality B can actually transition to mid, and he's going to push the top side Diplex.
Oh, so much damage, but there's a stopwatch. He's got Zhonya's. He tanks the entire combo, and they get a kill back on a Tasteless instead.
Wow, they get out scar-free. Skin's literally surviving by the skin of his teeth. And there's another inhibitor tower.
Lord, he gets the final order. That's another kill. Wonder trying to get back, but he does get that kill. Will punish the attempt to give us again to nearly a mega. Gonna get some more. It's a dead golden toast who goes down, eaten for breakfast, quite literally. Double aim tries to get back out to his own red side jungle, but he's running away from his base. His Skeens runs after him, and a thundering smash and a frenzied maul will secure the final kill. It's an ace. It's a final inhibitor. It's a third win for Vitality B, who remain completely undefeated here in the Amazon European Masters. What a group stage from them so far.
And Vitality B are going to follow the footsteps of LDLC as well. 3-0 in the entire first week of their EU Masters run. And honestly, as much as I want to be an NLC representative, man, the LFL looks damn scary.
They look a little scary. I think that's fair to say. It was a great snowball. They shut the win condition down. They crushed the bot lane. I mean, what more do you want to see from this team?
I think every single actually lane did exactly what they needed to do. They either neutralized or won their lanes. And honestly, major props to the bot lane for spotting the jungler every single time, absorbing pressure, putting down the pressure. Really good stuff from Jess Glenn Jackdaw.
Well, one LFL team comes out trumps in that match. We've got another coming up after this break, because Carmine Core versus the #1 seed from the Prime League Gamer Legion coming up. That means you want to go absolutely nowhere. It's a banger matchup. See you in a few.